What makes it different from other, let's say, animal species that are becoming endangered? What's the discrepancy there?
Well, for one thing, there's no regulations as to the harvest. So, if we had a white-tailed deer hunting season, that was forever, no close season. You could take the does, you can take the bucks, you can take the fawns, you can take the pregnant does, and there's no limit. There's no bag limit, as they say. And everyone makes you a certain amount of money if you're successful at finding it, putting it in your sack, and selling it in the current system of harvesting and distribution. Well, pretty soon, if that was a deer species, you wouldn't really have that many deer to hunt in a given area.
Correct.
It's the classic momentum towards extinction, I guess you would call it, or scarcity. It's basically overhunting in an area, and the area where it grows north of the border, where it's legal to be harvested for sale to Native American church members, it's a very limited area in terms of just exactly how many tens of thousands of square miles it even originally was. And that square mileage shrinks every year.
Every year. And so what could solve this issue?
Oh, I don't know. I guess I wonder about that a lot.
Well, we here at Morningstar, what are we doing here?
Oh, well, that's a different question.
Uh-huh.
We're just trying to do something.
Uh-huh. And it seems
Solving
like,
the issue is a pretty big picture. You know, the big picture is very big. Most of it involves the economic drive to convert the land for one purpose or another. Basically, the only purpose to not convert the land is to sell hunting licenses, ironically, for deer. But even deer, there's a season and a bag limit. But for the peyote that's growing out in these wild places that are still left, there is not that. A couple of years ago, there were some type of subcommittee congressional hearings, I believe through the Department of Agriculture originally, but working with the Native American Rights Committee. The exact name of the committee I can't quite remember, but there was discussion of the federal government giving some money towards peyote conservation. What would that look like?
you kind of detailed something up in Michigan that you were a part of.
Well, that's a little bit different. What this was I couldn't really see how, let's say, what was being proposed was $5 million at the moment towards peyote conservation. So what is that? How would you use that money appropriately in a way that could make a difference? And there's, it basically involves the idea of paying off large ranch owners to make sure that the medicine on their particular ranch is somehow put into some kind of conservation program or easement. It's not clear what that would be. So there's also a lot of, believe it or not, differing points of view on this that end up looking a lot like politics, to where people might not agree on what the solution might be, and especially if there's money involved.
Right.
I hate to say, but somebody's going to be paid that money. Who is it going to be? And what is it going to do? Well, at the time, an idea came to me that seemed brilliant, but now with hindsight, I can see it only makes sense. It would be brilliant if other people could see that, I guess. And I'm not saying that from a conceited point of view. I'm just saying there has to be something practical, is all I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
To actually make any kind of difference. So the idea, it's pretty simple. I call it the math of medicine, and it's that you could do something like this, where you say, rather than harvesting and getting the same price for cutting a button this size that hasn't even flowered yet, we'll pay you a quarter to make it at least a quarter size. That's the minimal size you're getting paid for. Anything that's a nickel or dime size, we're charging you.
Okay.
But
reverse tax.
if you bring us a 50-cent piece size, which is only so many millimeters larger in diameter than a quarter, Well, then you're going to get 50 cents. This is easy because you got your quarters, you got your 50 cents, and then if you find one the size of a silver dollar, we're going to pay you a whole dollar.
It's a good incentive.
Well, it's one that makes sense because everybody knows the size we're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not an exact science, but it's some type of calibrated, quantified measurement.
Mm-hmm.
It's a gradient, you know, more than a 3 size deal.
Mm-hmm.
But you're stressing that under a quarter shouldn't be cut. Well, that's not going to work for certain people. Most, particularly the peyote dealers, of which I believe there's 4 left right now, because that's less that's able to be brought. Rather than paying everybody the same amount of money, 15 cents or 20 cents, whatever it is running right now, for every size button, you give incentive, not just to only go for the bigger ones, but to leave the small ones alone, because we'll actually take money off for the ones that we see that are smaller than a quarter. Sorry, bro. We're going to replant them, though. But you're not getting paid for that. Right now, it's the other way.
Mm-hmm.
Every plant you find, doesn't matter which. It can be this big, it can be this small, and oftentimes it is less than the size of a dime, and you get paid the same amount of money. So who's going to make up the diff? Well, that was my idea. So for a certain amount of years, however long the $5 million could last, you pay these 3 or 4 dealers the offset. The difference between 15 cents and a quarter, or 15 cents and a 50 cent, or 15 cents and a buck.
Yeah.
So you're either paying a dime more, you know, whatever it is, 35 cents more, or, you know, do the math. But I'm just saying that government money could go to subsidize that dealer so he's not paying more. Now, he's getting less to sell overall. But on average, it's more mass.
Mm-hmm. And mass breeds more mass.
Well, what happens is a couple of things. Your average size box that they ship out is going to have more mass, even though it's the same number, because you're not counting little tinies that shouldn't have been harvested.
Right.
The second and probably most important side effect of this process would be that all the little ones that haven't had a chance to flower get to stay behind to grow.
And
You don't want to come back there for 8 years, you know, but what I'm saying is you don't take everybody. You don't want it to be a massacre, you want it to be a harvest. And the ones that you are cutting, you cut high, you don't take the subterranean stem. Nothing under the dirt. But that's more work too, see? But that's the thing, if they do it like that, and if it falls within the standards, they get paid more. Because right now it's very difficult to get on your hands and knees, and I'm not blaming anybody. It's hard work, and it's hot, and it's uncomfortable, and also dangerous to be out under every bush trying to cut every button just right. It's much easier to have a somewhat short-handled hoe where you just cut because it's sharp, and you bring everybody up that's back in there, and you bring them to you. You don't go in there and cut each one individually because that's ridiculous.
Yeah.
The only people who would do that are the people that really care about the medicine and are using it for prayer, and they're not the ones hired to pick it.
Yeah.
So we got pretty deep on that, but it didn't take that long because that's the kind of issues when you said it's like complicated or something, there's a lot of layers to it. Well, that's the practical layer, is that people are being paid to bring everything up with no regulatory device. I like to say the distribution of peyote to the Native American Church is licensed, but it's unregulated at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
You have to get a license to do that, to distribute and sell and harvest. But after that, it's game on.